Hey guys, so we've got a little project in the shop right now. I bought some used Aluma reels. For those of you that don't know, Aluma reels are cable reels for all kinds of, you could put lots of different things on them. They got like 6 or 7 different varieties, but I bought some welding cable reels. So they're really handy. So basically, I haven't disassembled right now, but welding cable goes on there. There's an end plate. I just bought them and I got them shipped from a guy off Facebook there. They're pretty cheap, so I can't really be too mad at the guy or anything like that, but he failed to mention that both of them are pretty bent. I've never seen that before. They're pretty stoutly built, so looks like they got whacked. Both of them pretty much the same amount, which is nice. But when I pulled them out of the box, there's 2 end plates. One of them's like this. I got really nervous and thought, like, the bearings and the shafts and all these things, like, I don't really want to make all this stuff. You know, they're cheap, but they aren't that cheap. But it looks like he managed to bend the end plate. So, hold the camera here. So I just made some marks where they got hit, but this table's flat-ish, pretty flat, pretty good. But it's rocks. So this is up 3/8 of an inch, and this is touching. So if you look down these, they're kind of concaved, specifically right there. I apologize for the poor filming, but the clear coat's chipped right here and it's lifted. Same with this. So what I'm going to try and do is put them on my brake and bend them the other way, and just touch them, like just touch it, check it on table, touch it, check it on table. So I'll show you how I'm going to do that. They also melted the insulators. This is a piece of PVC pipe. It's not supposed to be all twisted like this. This is not a big deal. These are nothing to make. I'm not worried about that. They usually are melted, not to that one in the right extent, but I had to cut it and hit it with a hammer. But yeah, so I just got some goo in these. I just sprayed them down. The switches were shitty, but that's pretty normal. But now they're working pretty nice. This is let's see here. This is unlocked, but this is really hard to turn. This should spin. So I'm gonna soak this and see if I can get away with just keep spraying it, or if I have to pull the ends off and change the bearings. If I have to change the bearings, that'll be shitty. I shouldn't have done this, but I'm thinking that it'll come around. It's already feeling better. It wouldn't move when it came out of the box. That one's better, but still not where it should be. So they've probably been sitting for a long time, trying to stay positive about the guy on the other side who shipped them to me. Didn't tell me any of this, but it is what it is. So yeah, let's bend these end plates straight, and then we can figure out where they're gonna go on my welding skid. So yeah, let's fire up the brake press. Okay, so I adjusted the brake, and I'm just gonna bump this and just see how it comes out. I just want it to be flat on the table. I'm not looking for precision here. I just want it to be, when both sides are touching on the table, it'll move straight when I pull on it to wind the cables in. Alright, so probably won't use the angle finder because it's the opposite direction. I'm not trying to bend it up, I'm trying to bend it left and right with the brake. So I'm just going to gauge it with the die. So if you look, you can see how it's touching there, but it's not touching there. So what we're going to do is just bump this. We might have to go a little past, but aluminum's pretty forgiving, so let's do that. Almost touching. A little more. Okay. Almost there. Let's see. Maybe one more. I don't want to go too far. Yeah, that looks pretty good. go up. So still pretty bent, so we'll have to go a little past this. So we'll go down again. It's better than it was, but we have to go a little past. So get it to where it's touching, and just a little bump. Go up. Go down again. Just check it. It's just touching there. We got, I think we started with about 1/2 to 3/8 there, so got 3/16. So down. Oh, might have been too much. Let's see. Yeah, way too much. We'll flip it over. And you can kind of see that bend line there. Still too much. Okay. Well, still got a little bit of a wow in it. That's looking pretty good. So now let's go and sit it on the table and see how much of a rock we got in it. Still have some of a rock. So we might have to change where we're bending now. We've got 3/16 there. So still just a little bit high right there. So if we come across the middle right on this edge, make a mark with the Sharpie. Try and get this a little more flat. Just double check that I didn't mark the wrong spot. Nope, no, that's right. Okay. Down on the brake. And you see how it's high in the center and not touching on the bottoms, or outside, sorry. Just bump that a little bit. A little more. Go up. Down. Same thing. Up. Down. Getting a little better. It's pretty close now. Almost the same gap all the way, just a little bit high in the center, so we'll keep doing this. Look at it. I can see a little bit of a bend across here that we might have to fix, but you can see now it doesn't rock nearly as much. It's got a little high in the center, but the sides are touching. So we'll go a little bit right across there. Same thing over there. We'll pick the highest spot around there. Just try and get this a little more flat. Okay, so I can't even barely see it, so just a little bit in the middle. Use the brake as kind of a gauge. Pretty even. Tiniest bit left, so little bump right there that's rocking on now. The part is fairly flat because, yeah, the part is flat now because it doesn't move at all when you do that. So just a little bit right there. I can probably even massage that out with a piece of wood. So do the same thing with this one. This guy here got rocked pretty hard. Look there. So we'll just do the same thing. Hopefully that's helpful for somebody. This would be easier actually with just a normal press. I would just push down on the center now, but yeah, it's doable. So hopefully that redneck engineering helps somebody. Okay guys, so we got them fairly straight and back together. They're both within a 1/16. I measured like 4 spots all the way around. So like I guess if you looked at it like a clock, like 12, 3, 6, and 9, they're all within a 1/16 of an inch. So that's a hell of a lot better than the 3/8 of an inch we were working with before. So they're so bent though. When I pulled it out of the box, I was a little disheartened, but they should be okay now. I'm gonna keep spraying them, and hopefully we won't have to put any bearings in them. Only time will tell. Eventually they'll need bearings, but I think if I stay on them with a good rust spray or whatever, good lubricant there, they should be okay. The noise has already gone away. They were squeaking a little bit, so I'm confident that they're pretty well built things. It's not a cheap reel for sure. So yeah, we've got enough information now to I think all I'm really going to need now is basically those PVC insulators. I might make them. I'm going to go check my supplies and see if I've got any PVC pipe that size. If I do, all I have to do is just a little notch for the bolt, and if not, then I might just text the Lumareel guys there and say, hey, can I get 2 of those insulator things? We'll see. So yeah, next up we're just going to figure out how to attach these to the skid so that they don't touch the welder, but we're trying to make like a really streamlined skid. Most of my skids are pretty wide, so I'm trying to make one that's pretty narrow, because like Kenworth, it doesn't have a lot of room in the middle, so it's going to be a little bit more of a headache to try and reach my amperages and change stuff, but we're gonna try and work with what we've got, kind of thing. So I have a rough idea of how far apart the spacing should be, because I'm just basing it off my other skids, but I'm just going to figure out how wide apart to put them now. So I'll figure that out, and I'll take a little clip for you. Okay everyone, kind of just powered through that. I welded the front side because I didn't want to hang stuff on it and then have to take it off. I'm hoping that I can just leave it like this. We'll see, might be a challenge to put the welder on. But anyways, step back, just take her all in. I'm pretty happy with that. Last time I worked on it, I was kind of frustrated, but everything kind of fell together quickly today, which was nice. Sometimes even though this is a personal project for my business or whatever, but I still, I'm still a human being, still fight I don't want us sometimes, just like everybody else does. So yeah, the reels are looking pretty good. This one's still got a little bit of a in the bottom. Probably just gonna that with a hammer because I've hit it with the brake press and got the hop out of it, but I think the whole thing's a little bit still wonky. But yeah, we got this remote reel on there. I read somewhere a long time ago, I don't even know if it's accurate, you can unpin the remote stuff and just do extension cords. So throw the remote cord, I don't even know if this is for my welder or not, but anyways, I don't use this style of remote. I have a different one. I'm not really a big remote guy. I can usually run pretty good on one setting for the most part. But anyways, that's what I'm talking about. Gonna pull this off, throw an extension cord on there, see what's involved with that, and wind it in properly because it's wound backwards right now. I don't know if there's maybe an advantage to that, or what the deal is. But anyways, yeah, looks pretty cool. I know they're old, used reels. They've got to be at least 10 years old, but it's looking pretty good. We still got to do something here and get this straightened, and make some bottom parts to hold some bottles. I'm gonna go see a buddy of mine who has an aluminum shop, buy some material next week probably. I cut some little pieces here for some standoffs that go underneath, so we can put bottles underneath, and that'll be the support so that it doesn't fold in on the bottles, hopefully. Yeah, I've run out pretty much of old tarp bar material, so I'm gonna have to go buy some, but I'm pretty stoked with how much we got done with what we had. Not very much invested so far. Okay guys, that's the end of part 2. Thank you very much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. If you got any questions, do the commenting. I'm happy to answer them. Yeah, if you haven't subscribed, I'd really appreciate it. If you have subscribed, thank you very much. I'll see you in part 3.